Newswatch 18.
Milwaukee.
Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Jenna Kurtz.
And I'm Jessie Kaler. Let's go to meteorologist Zach Sharp for a quick update on the weather.
We have some snow showers moving through the state right now. If we go ahead and take a look at clouds and radar, we see we have some moderate snowbands moving through Council Bluffs, all the way stretching back to the Des Moines Metro. But will these be lasting much longer? I'll give the full details coming up in a bit.
A team of researchers from Iowa State University will head to Capitol Hill to talk about asteroids. The team, led by Bong Weehi, will showcase the results of a $600,000 NASA grant. Weehi will propose a $500 million rocket launch to test asteroid interception systems. Weehi is the head of ISU's Asteroid Deflection Research Center. The team will present in Washington, D.C. on April 17th as part of NASA's Technology Day.
Iowa State Professor of Political Science Stephen Schmidt recently had the opportunity to invite a production crew to a lecture on the history of political parties in the U.S. The lecture covered how political parties rise, fall, and reshape themselves. Schmidt's lecture will be included on C-SPAN's American History TV and will likely air in June.
Registration has begun for the inaugural Visha 5K Run Walk. The run walk will be held before Visha Parade on Saturday morning. All proceeds go to the Visha Scholars Program to support the annual scholarships of 2 lucky high school students. Free t-shirts will be given to participants who sign up for the race before March 22nd. The cost is $20 per person.
The award-winning musical Dreamgirls will be performed tomorrow in Stevens Auditorium. The musical follows the career of the fictional singing group The Dreams, which is loosely based on the various music groups of 60s and 70s Motown Detroit. The cost for tickets is between $25 and $53. Tickets can be purchased online and at the Stevens Auditorium box office.
The United States' dominance of soybean production could be affected by the drought. Iowa State Associate Professor of Economics Chad Hart says soybean production in the United States will compete with Brazil in the upcoming years. Hart says the recent change in global conditions has affected the way Brazil has caught up to the United States production. The decrease in production will lead to an increase in soybean prices.
Iowa State Professor Dan Shetman will host a lecture on March 13th. Shetman's lecture is called Technological Entrepreneurship, a Key to World Peace and Prosperity, and will discuss his thoughts on building up developing countries. Shetman won Nobel Prizes in 1982 and 2011. He's a research scientist at the U.S. Department of Energy's Ames Laboratory and the Philip Tobias Distinguished Professor at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology. The lecture is free and open to the public. So, Alan, you were saying something earlier about the men's basketball team?
Yes, they have a big game coming up Thursday morning in the Big 12 Championship. I'll have more for you after the break. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Alan Fidelki with your Cyclone Sports Update. The men's basketball team led by 27 points in the second half on the road against West Virginia on Saturday. They weathered a surge by the Mountaineers late in the game to win by a score of 83-74 to end the regular season. Will Clyburn led the way with a double-double of 27 points and 10 boards. Lucius with 21, Niang with 14, and Babb with 11 points also scored double figures. Tyrus McGee only took 2 shots and made them both for 5 points. Iowa State shot the ball well with over 60% from behind the arc and 56% from the field. The team received many awards Sunday. Will Clyburn was named Newcomer of the Year, Tyrus McGee won 6th Man of the Year, and Melvin Edgem was named Scholar Athlete of the Year. Clyburn made 2nd team, Edgem made 3rd team, and Lucius was honorable mention. Clyburn and Niang made the Big 12 All-Rookie team, and Chris Babb made the All-Defensive team. Iowa State will play Thursday at 11:30 a.m. against Oklahoma in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament. They split the regular season meetings with Iowa State winning big in Hilton and Oklahoma winning big in Norman. The game can be seen on ESPN2. The 23rd-ranked Iowa State women's basketball team lost the lead early in the game and could not get within striking distance as they fell to the #1 team in the nation, Baylor Bears, in the Big 12 championship by a score of 47-75. Anna Prins with 20 points and Nikki Moody with 12 points were the only double-figure scorers for the Lady Cyclones. Brittany Griner finished the contest with 31 points and 8 boards. Odyssey Sims poured in 20 points to help grind it with the scoring load for the Lady Bears. The Lady Cyclones will wait to see who their first opponent will be in the NCAA tournament and what region they will be in. The selection show is next Monday at 7 p.m. on ESPN. The 20th ranked Cyclone wrestling team headed to Stillwater over the weekend for the Big 12 duels and the Big 12 championship. The Cyclones opened up last Friday's Big 12 duels with a decisive 38-7 victory over Oklahoma. 2 major decision victories and 2 pins by the Cyclones aided to a large margin of victory. The Cyclones took on second-ranked Okie State and lost by a score of 27-6. 19th-ranked Michael Moreno upset third-ranked Tyler Caldwell 5-2. Moreno has won 10 of his last 11 matches dating back to mid-January, with 1 loss coming at the hands of Caldwell at the beginning of February. Iowa State ended the Big 12 duels Friday night with a handling victory over West Virginia with a score of 45-3. After Saturday's Big 12 championship, the Cyclones finished second in the team standing behind Oklahoma State, crowned a Big 12 champion, and had 6 Cyclone wrestlers punch their tickets to the NCAA championship in Des Moines. Cyclone Kyvan Gatson won by a 5-4 decision in the finals to take the crown at 197 pounds. Gatson is also ranked 7th nationally. Luke Gettle, Max Mayfield, Mike Moreno, Tanner Weatherman, and Boaz Beard will join Gatson at the NCAA championships. The final at-large bids for the championships will be decided Wednesday. Cyclones Ryan Finch and Matt Gibson are strong candidates to receive a bid. Day 1 of the NCAA championship is March 21st. The Cyclone gymnasts came up short against the Hawkeyes in Iowa City on Friday. Michelle Shealy won beam and Camille won bars for the Cyclones. The Cyclones then traveled to Los Angeles Sunday for a quadrangular and finished 4th behind California, UCLA, and Winter, Michigan. Michelle Shealy continued her momentum from Friday's meet by winning beam and posting a career-high 9.9 on bars. Her career high helped Iowa State post their best score on bars this season. Shealy's performance over the weekend got her named Big 12 Specialist of the Week. Cyclones travel to Ann Arbor on Saturday to take on Michigan before the Big 12 Championship the following weekend. The meet is set to begin at 4 p.m. Have you ever wanted to try out a new sport? Matt Van Winkle and Jake Stevens caught up with a group of guys who have turned a passion into a rapidly growing club on campus.
Lacrosse. It's one of America's oldest sports. It's rapidly been gaining popularity, and the fast-paced game has found its niche right here at Iowa State.
It's a sport played on about the size of a football field, soccer field. 2 goals on the end of the net. There's a crease kind of like hockey, and then you're running up and down just like soccer. Ball going around, passing it, and then try and shoot on the goal.
The Iowa State Lacrosse Cup has been around since the 70s, and the team has grown to about 25 guys. The club gets new members from students who have played a variety of sports similar to lacrosse.
I mean, coming from soccer, baseball, and all those other kind of spring sports, it brings in the physicalness of hockey and football, and those are other sports I've enjoyed as well. So
the club practices twice a week and travels across the country to compete in tournaments. It's the connections the players make with one another that keep them coming back.
You got to mix it up. I don't want to spend all my days studying and watching TV. I want to come here, and as opposed to lifting or running on the treadmill, this is a good way to mix up the exercise. I actually just got off knee surgery, so I couldn't play, but it was nice to come here and have an instant connection with people. You didn't have to worry about, common interests or common goals. You were already with a bunch of guys who wanted to do the same thing you did.
Players with a wide variety of skills make up the team, but it comes down to one important aspect.
Commitment. That's the main thing. I mean, you don't have to be the most athletic, you don't need to be the fastest, but as long as you're committed and working hard, that's what it takes.
For some, the sport means everything.
I don't know what I'd be doing without lacrosse. I love it, and I have to be playing wherever I'm at.
For ISU TV with Matt Van Winkle, I'm Jake Stevens.
The Lacrosse Club meets every Tuesday and Thursday evening at Lead. The team participated in a 3-day tournament in Memphis last weekend. That's all I've got for sports. So, Zach, what's the deal with all this snow?
Yeah, we have some snow moving through the metro. I'll have a full breakdown in a bit, plus a warm-up in time for the weekend. I'll have your full 7-day forecast coming up in a bit. You're watching Newswatch 18. And welcome back to Newswatch 18. I am meteorologist Zach Sharp. Currently outside our studio right now, 24 degrees with a few light snow showers moving through the metro right now. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy with a northwest wind between 15 and 20 miles per hour with a dew point at 19 degrees. Taking a look at current temps across the state right now, we're pretty cool for this time of year. 28 in the capital city of Des Moines, 28 in Council Bluffs as well. Taking a look at current wind conditions, the winds have been a big factor today. 20 miles per hour in the capital city of Des Moines, 16 in Council Bluffs, about the same, and 17 miles per hour in Sioux City, and 15 right here in Ames. And when you factor in those winds, it really puts a bite in the air 5 degrees all the way up in Mason City, 11 in Ames, 17 a little warmer out in Council Bluffs, 13 in Sioux City, otherwise 14 out in Ottumwa. So taking a look at clouds and radars, we have this Clipper system that's been moving through the area today, which is off to our north and east, and which have been those light snow showers. And every now and then you can see we start to break out pockets of sunshine, but then right behind those pockets of sunshine we have those snow showers build right back in, and this caused some slick conditions out there this morning and in the afternoon, as some of those snow showers were pretty intense, as you can see from Council Bluffs all the way back to Des Moines. We had a moderate band move through here, and so which caused for some light accumulation. So taking a look at futurecast here, we have a big area of high pressure out in Kansas and Nebraska, and eventually this will start to slide up into southwest Iowa later this morning, and eventually will cause those clouds and snow showers eventually to push on out of here, causing for clear, cool skies, which will really drop our lows tonight. And eventually this will keep moving up, but then right behind it we have a weak frontal boundary which will push in, which will cause some cloud cover by tomorrow afternoon and the evening hours. And those clouds will stick around through the Thursday morning and the afternoon, and finally by Thursday afternoon we break those clouds out and we become mostly clear skies. So taking a look at our forecast tonight, we'll have some flurries mainly before midnight, but those winds will really be gusting up to 25 miles per hour at times, otherwise a low of 13 tonight. And taking a look at tomorrow, we have 31 degrees with cool temperatures. With those winds, we'll put a bite in the air again. Wind chill values will be near zero. But taking a look at our 7-day forecast, 42, we start to crank up the temperatures by Thursday. Friday, 51 degrees. So we're really cranking up the temps. And if we take a look by your weekend, we start to cool it off again. 37 on Saturday, but Sunday for your St. Patrick's Day, 40 degrees. And by Monday, we're keeping our eye on a storm system with a 50% chance of rain/snow. The big factor is temperatures. Otherwise, 50% chance of snow/rain. And by Tuesday, we'll be at 30 degrees. But that's all I got. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Zach. Every year, the Iowa State chapter of Colleges Against Cancer hosts the Relay for Life. This 12-hour overnight event raises money for the American Cancer Society, celebrates stories of survivors, and takes a moment to remember those who have been lost to cancer. Rachel Lake and I took an inside look at this year's relay.
It's Friday night at Iowa State University, but you won't find students, faculty, or community members in their normal Friday night routine. You'll find them at the Lead Recreational Center, where they're cheering on cancer survivors and remembering those lost in the fight. Hundreds of students camped out during the 12-hour relay with family, friends, and members of the community. Participants were inspired to relay for many different reasons.
I relay for my kids at work.
I relay for friends and family. For my grandpa, he fought kidney cancer for a long time. Well, I relay because, clearly I'm a survivor.
I relay for a cure.
I relay for all these names, all these grandparents and daughters and dads and mothers and friends and families who have passed or are still fighting.
Sophomore Carolyn Clark became involved with Colleges Against Cancer because her mother was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer during Carolyn's senior year of high school.
The most important thing I've learned with my experience with my mom's cancer was that cancer can affect anybody. When you're least expecting it, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, best friend, it could be anywhere, anytime.
As the survivorship chair, Carolyn invites survivors to the relay to share their stories and honor their courage. Among those survivors is Melanie Twing. Melanie is a 23-year-old Iowa State alum who was diagnosed with stage 4 adrenal cortical carcinoma 1 year ago. She was a 2013 Story County Relay for Life honorary survivor.
We walk for the people who have gone before us and people that will come after. We walk to celebrate, we walk to remember, we walk to fight back. We walk for more birthdays.
It's a time to celebrate, a time to remember, and a time to fight back. They walk for their families, they walk for their friends, they walk for themselves. But they also walk for the future. They walk for hope. With Jenna Kurtz, I'm Rachel Lake, ISU TV.
Relay for Life raised $103,000 for the American Cancer Society. That's all we have on tonight's edition of Newswatch 18.
Be sure to tune in on Thursday for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a safe night, Ames.